Hey guys, how's it going? So the market's about to burst. It's in a bubble, and in this video I'm gonna talk more about it. I'm gonna explain it, and I'm gonna give you my thoughts on it. So let's begin. So I've been watching a lot of 2008 crash videos, and a lot of things that happened in the 2008 crash video it's kind of similar to what's happening right now. And there's a lot of fear in the market, and I'll play this video and I'll talk more about it later. Let's begin.
There is a little bit of a consternation down here about there being no bell. Our market reporters are standing by. Bob Pisani, have you ever seen anything like no bell?
Yeah, that's a little strange here.
We're down 1.7% here, a loss of 37 points or so. Apple shares are just getting hammered this morning.
We're down by between 3 and 4.5% generally across these markets. Let's talk about the speed with which we are watching this market deteriorate. We're red everywhere, essentially, down by 4-5%.
We're down over 16%. Dow at the same time has fallen about 18%.
The stock market is now down 21%.
Because we're now down 43%.
What in the world is happening on Wall Street?
Two-year no yields went from 190 to 166 in the blink of an eye.
I have never live looked at the Dow Jones Industrial Board and seen a 600-point loss.
Who knows where this is going to end up? I mean, this is volatility we haven't seen, of course, since way before you and I were born, even before our grandparents, 1929.
So almost everything there completely wiped out. And the NASDAQ, everything and more has been completely wiped out.
The Dow traders are standing there watching in amazement, and I don't blame them. The credit market...
676 points down.
It was the worst day on Wall Street since the crash of 1987.
From the financial capital of the world, the opening bell is going to ring in 5 seconds, and to be honest with you, we wish it wouldn't.
Traders here working the phone say a lot of their customers are freaked out, waiting to see how low the Dow will go. They're focused on the Dow, not so focused on OPEC. Yes, OPEC did cut production by 1.5 million barrels per day.
Really, you're seeing just broad-based declines across all of the major technology sectors. Apple's under pressure, Yahoo down 8.5%, Cisco 6.5%, Research in Motion 10%.
And we're not getting the bid wanted. We're not getting the stop trading, and we see where the buyers are. We're just, every day they're pounding it.
The heightened financial turmoil that we have experienced of late may well lengthen the period of weak economic performance and further increase the risk to growth.
Can't look at it after you buy it because it's so horrible.
We haven't seen anything like this probably since the Great Depression, I think it's fair to say.
We've had an 8-day losing streak in the Dow that in percentage terms puts it on par, close to the loss suffered in that crash in 1987, close to that percentage loss those 2 days in 1929.
Look at the move in Aussie yen just this week. This was 1 week, Maria. This market took 5 years to go higher. It's now down 40%.
What started in America last year has now spread to every part of the world.
We're down 9% today. The Xetra DAX over in Frankfurt is down by 9%. The Paris market down by 9%. Austria, which was briefly suspended earlier on in the day, is down by nearly 11%.
This market is as volatile as you'll ever see.
Traders saying this is the craziest day they have ever seen in these markets. Veteran traders saying they've never seen anything like it. The movement in oil prices so fast, so furious.
Cicero was right. We're in the last days of this country surviving. And how in the world can we find the billions of dollars that we're borrowing from China and Japan?
Well, we are just seconds to go until the start of trading at the New York Stock Exchange, and stocks are set to kick off lower, a whole lot lower.
eBay is down 6.5%, and really you're seeing just broad-based declines across all of the major technology sectors. Apple's under pressure, Yahoo down 8.5%, Cisco 6.5%, Research in Motion 10%.
This could be the most serious recession in decades. And that means life, as most Americans know it, is about to change, in some cases dramatically.
Buddy!
This sounds very similar to what's happening right now, and the bleeding will not end yet. Trump, in 2016, when Trump was trying to become president, he said that the stock market is in one big fat ugly bubble. In 2016, the market was you know, I don't know. It was like, would you think it's a bubble 2016? If it was a bubble, what would it be considered now? Like, it still hasn't gone, the S&P 500 still hasn't gone back down to the 2016 levels, and Donald Trump called it a big-ass bubble, and now he's trying to save the stock market. He's saying that, oh, you should buy, Trump urges buying on the dip after stock market sinks on December, on DC, whatever, I can't even say that. He's also threatening to fire Jerome Powell over the central bank interest rates, which Trump and his allies blame for the market plunge. So Trump knows that we're in a market plunge. He knows that the market is going to plunge, and he's trying to save it because he wants to continue to be president. And he knows that if the market crashes, he won't become president, and that's why he's trying to save the stock market so much. So at the end of the day, can he convince the 1%, the really rich people, that to pump their money back into the stock market? Because on June 2017, all the U.S. stocks combined was worth $21.3 trillion. If you look at the S&P 500 on June 2017, was it 17? June 2017. Too bad I don't have, oh wait, I can do 5 years. So it was 2,164. And the market still hasn't reached back to that point. So I mean, I think it's heading down further. I think the market is heading down further. I think we're in a big fat bubble, and I think the market will crash. That's my belief. I mean, it could recover. We could see it rally back, but eventually it's gonna crash. I don't see this. I don't see how this would reverse. I mean, Trump could cancel the trade wars with China. He could fire Powell and force the federal government to decrease, to not hike interest rates anymore. And then maybe the market will continue to rally. Maybe the rich people, the people who have trillions of dollars or billions and billions of dollars, will start putting it back into the market. I don't think so, but you know, it's possible that those rich people might put trillions of dollars back into the market. So we'll see, because ordinary investors like us, we could all combine and we wouldn't even have $1 trillion. So yeah, so like the 1% is what is controlling the stock market, and they dictate where the stock goes and moves at the end of the day. At least it's not how I think about it. I mean, how many trillionaires do you know? Right? Like you don't know very many trillionaires, but there's lots of billionaires, and all those billionaires combined add up to lots of trillions of dollars. So the trillionaires or the billionaires are the ones that are controlling the market. The really rich, the 1% is controlling the markets. So this guy called Speculative Talk, he doesn't talk about stocks at all, and then he came out a video you know, a day ago saying that Xmas, absolute plunge, Xmas Eve 2018 stock market, you know, so he's basically saying the stock market will crash, and he doesn't really talk about, you know, the stock market very much. That's, you know, sounds like an omen to me that the market will crash. And then this article I ran across that somebody linked to me, they say they believe that the stock market will crash all the way back to the 2008 levels. When the market crashed. So we're gonna have the biggest crash of our lifetime, and we're gonna lose all the gains we made in the past, you know, 10 years. It's just gonna plummet all the way down. And if you look, so this is the chart of the S&P 500. I have it set on 10 years, 20. I have it set on 20 years. If you look from this video, it said September 29th, 2017. So that's 2007. So October, around there. So this is the peak of the market before the crash. From the peak to the actual bottom of the crash It took about a year, and it took about a year, more than a year, like October, December. It took about 18 months for the market to fully crash. So I believe that this is just the beginning of the crash, and we're going to be seeing a painful next 12 months of declines. There might be some bounces along the way, but the market direction is down, and more down. Because if history was to repeat itself again, it's going to take about 18 months. And along the way, we're going to hear horrible news, bank going bankrupt, housing crash. You know, I think we're going to hear a lot of problems. And even Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett has $100 million of cash, and he's waiting for the market to crash so he can buy back in big time. At least this is what I think he's doing. Berkshire Hathaway, like it's pretty bad when he had to buy stock back for his company. He bought $1 billion stocks back. $1 billion to him is nothing, right? At a price of $2.07, and his stock right now is worth $187.76. So he's already lost out on his big buyback. I have no idea why he bought back shares. Maybe he was thinking that, you know, there was no good buys in the market and he had to spend some money. So he used that money to buy his own shares. I don't know. I don't know why. But Warren Buffett is the greatest investor of all time. So I don't understand the logic of him buying at 207 and his stock share price is 187.76. I don't get the logic behind it. But I also, in this, I don't have the article here, but he's like in 2009, 10, 11, he had less cash than he has now. He has a lot more cash because he's waiting for the market crash. I don't know why I have that one up, and I don't know why I have that one up either, and that one. Okay, so I'm gonna end it off with the housing crash. So this is the National Home Price Index in the United States. In 2006 and 7, it was at its peak, and then it declined all the way down, big time. By February 2009, it was like big decline. It just kept going all the way down until 2012, until it starts reversing itself. Right now, the housing market is more of a bubble than it was in 2008. I don't think within 2012 to now would be considered 10 years. No, wait, not 10 years. 6 years. I don't think in a matter of 6 years, housing prices should be back at its like all-time highs. This just seems like a big, like there's been a lot of borrowing for the housing price index to go up this much, and I do believe that the housing market prices will decrease back in the United States. I'm hoping it hits back to like the 2010 levels, because I would love to go to the United States and buy some houses on dirt cheap prices. Even if the market is crashing, I still don't believe Aurora will ever hit $2.56 or $2.80, because the market is gonna take at least a year to crash, and Aurora stock is not going to go. I don't believe that. Like Aurora has too much. There's too much news and event and horizon, and there's too much hype for the stock market and for the cannabis space that I don't see it declining back to the $2 level. I mean, I could be wrong, but that's what I truly believe, that even if the market crashes, Aurora will probably go down below $5, but I don't believe it will hit the low $2 levels. But at the end of the day, anything's possible. But I'm not planning to buy at the $2 low levels. If it ever does crash, I'd probably buy it like below $5. If it goes below $5, that's when I'll make a big purchase into Aurora. That's what my plan is going forward. Even if the market crashes, I'm still going to be buying back my shares when it goes below $5, because I still believe in the company in the long term, even though, you know, I'm bashing on it a little bit, because, you know, I guess 2 reasons. I want the share price to go down so I can buy it at a cheaper price, and number 2, you know, I also think the market is crashing, and I don't think I don't think any of these weed stocks, I don't think speculation stocks deserve to be at a high price point when the market is crashing. So we'll see what happens. I think the stock's gonna go lower, but we'll see what happens. Tomorrow the US market is open, but the Canadian market is closed. So we'll see how the Aurora is trading on the US side. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this content. Subscribe for future update, and have a great day. Bye.